Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Project LAS.
I'm Clover.
I'm Lily.
I'm Jazz.
And I'm ASHA.
We are a group of IB and BTech students here to help you guys through life at KG5 with this little video series. We help summarize lessons of PSHE with the expert advice of those who have already been through MYP and GCSEs.
Well, the exams are coming up. Mocks or the real deal. We know what you guys are thinking. Probably something to the effect of,
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
that. But don't worry, while exams can seem daunting, being organized and having a good structure to how you study can help you tackle those exam papers and progress into your chosen diploma program.
The first step to studying is to plan out how you're going to study. Of course, you've got to start by identifying what you need to study.
You can do this by getting a grading rubric or the syllabus for the subject you're studying. Teachers usually provide something like this, and if not, they're always available online on the exam board's website.
Consider reading through the list and making notes on points that you're unsure on. The RAG method can help you here, as you actively go through the points of information and highlight your weakest points. It takes time, yes, but it will help you in the long run, as you spend more time on the parts you don't understand.
If it works better for you, you can also print out and annotate a copy of your syllabus, or make an online copy and type up your notes.
You also need to figure out how you're going to learn the material, whether it's actual learning or just memorization.
Memorization is just the ability to recall information from your long-term or short-term memory. This is what students commonly try to do in the 5 minutes before exams. Cram as much information into the brain as possible.
Realistically, though, not much is going into there unless you're really good at retaining information. Memorization takes a long time to truly get down, and it's more viable for terms and definitions, like in languages or in learning sequences and lists.
Actual learning refers to a near-complete understanding of the material and the ability to apply your knowledge to different situations. This is important for subjects with strangely worded questions, like the 3 sciences or IS subjects.
For example, a biology question on an unknown experiment may just be a simple question on the effect of temperature on enzymes. You just need to know what to look for.
If you want to actually retain the information you're being taught, it helps to consistently practice. Even if it's just for a few minutes every day, doing a couple of questions or going over your notes can go a long way. It's all about consistency.
The next step is to create a study schedule, or at least something to help you manage your time well.
This can literally be anything, as long as it helps you learn. It can be as loose or as rigid as you want. If you feel yourself improving in your knowledge, then that means it's working.
Make sure to personalize your schedule to your needs and your daily routine. If you already have a lot going on after school, like, chores or extracurricular activities, don't feel the need to study every day.
It's okay to take days off to avoid burnout. You can also give yourself breaks during your study sessions by using something like the Pomodoro technique.
However, if you find that this doesn't help and instead disturbs your workflow, that's fine. Instead, you could work as long as you feel comfortable, then take some time off until you feel ready to start again.
Breaks can also act as a reward for studying to de-stress after a long day. It's always important to include some hobbies or activities that you enjoy in your schedule, or else you might end up burning out faster. You can really only properly focus for around an hour before your studying becomes less effective, so make sure you're taking breaks to clear your mind before going back to work.
For example, if you enjoy gaming, you may want to allocate a couple of games after your day of studying. Choose the game you play carefully, though. It may end up stressing you out even more.
Where you study is also important. Having a dedicated study area is useful, as it makes it easier to get your brain into the study mindset and separate the relaxation from the information.
A messy and chaotic environment, like a bedroom or an unorganized desk, can make it very hard to focus on your work. Consider rearranging your study space to have, more space to study.
If your house simply isn't viable for study due to loud sounds of constructions, lack of space, or you just can't focus there, it's always alright to find an outdoor place to study.
This can range from a simple cafe to a library for some peace and quiet to even school. I always find that school helps me lock in and avoid distractions that could make me lose valuable study time. It's just the atmosphere.
Make sure to have all the necessary materials close by, like sharpened pencils, pens, calculators, etc. This will help not interfere with your workflow by getting up to find that one thing you forgot to bring.
The people around you can also influence how you learn. If you find yourself studying better independently, it's okay to decline an invitation to a group study session.
If you work better with people around, you can always gather a group in the study pods for a mini class, or make a group chat for easy calling. You don't all need to be studying the same subject either. Sometimes you just need someone there to help you focus.
I remember back in my day, we were in school studying after school for a late-night psych test. A few others and I hijacked the projector in LRC1, and I projected all my notes onto the screen. I ended up teaching my friends the contents of the unit, which helped my own understanding, and theirs too.
Whatever the case is, your schedule needs to help you learn. It may take some trial and error to find something that truly kicks your brain into shape, but in the end, something that helps you feel organized will make you feel better studying and ace your exams.
Speaking of the exams, let's talk about the techniques to use in the exams themselves.
One thing that's important to learn is command terms. Command terms are basically question starters that help tell you what your answer should contain, so that your response is appropriate for the question. In certain subjects, you can and will lose marks if you can't recognize these.
Different subjects will focus on different command terms, so keep track of them or make a list for each subject you take.
Once you identify the command term in the question, highlight it, along with any other important information that could help you in your response. This will save your valuable time in the exam, as you don't have to keep finding words that correspond to your points.
Make sure you know exactly what you need to do once you get in the exam hall. This can help prevent any accidental rule breaking or disqualification in the exam you studied so hard for. It can also help you feel more confident about your behavior in the exam itself.
Of course, you might end up accidentally memorizing them from how much they say it.
Also, make sure to check if you have any exam accommodations you can use. If you think you might need them due to a diagnosed condition or disorder, feel free to talk to Ms. Dahmer or Mr. Hotwani to see if you're applicable. Don't worry, they don't bite. Probably.
Everyone can agree that exams are pretty stressful, not just because of the amount of material you'll be tested on, but also the social pressure of doing well, the potential burnout you'll face when studying, and many other things you may or may not experience.
If you find yourself getting way too stressed out, please reach out and talk to a counselor about it. They're here to help, and there's no shame in going, even if it's just for a short talk or getting some advice on how to cope.
You might get stressed during the exam itself, perhaps due to the amount of people in the exam hall. Don't worry though, just focus on your own paper. I guarantee you that everyone else is focusing on theirs as well. There's no point in wasting your precious time on what other people are doing when you can put that time towards finishing your own paper.
If you have accommodations, those can cover your fears as well, since they allow you to take the test in a different room with less people.
There are many ways to cope with the stress before and after your exams are done. To give some examples, here are some of the ways we cope with stress.
Getting enough sleep and spending time on hobbies is what helps me. Also, I made sure I had the exam accommodations I needed.
Crying, or having an existential crisis, or sleep, or talk to a counselor. Any of those work, but I tend to go to sleep. And also, I tend to accept my fate/impending doom.
When I'm feeling stressed during exam time, I like to keep my spirits high and keep reminding myself that despite everything, I tried as hard as I can, and what's left is to go in there and get it done. It also helps to look for even the tiniest bits of enjoyment in your studies. Maybe a topic you like, or feeling satisfied about learning how to do a tough question. These can reduce your stress and raise your spirits a lot.
I personally make sure I've had enough time to accept my fate, whether through sleep or through doing hobbies, so that I feel calm and mostly ready for the exams. Saving the most important point for last. Now, imagine, it's the night before one of your exams, and while you are prepared for it, you're still unsure of your abilities. Should you go to sleep, or cram whatever's left to learn?
Go to sleep!
Everybody talks about it, but nobody ever really does it.
Cramming will only stress you out as you look at the amounts of material you'll need to apply to the exam. It's impractical and nearly useless, since the stress and lack of sleep combined means you'll end up not retaining anything you try to cram.
If you really, really must cram, do it in the morning and the hours before your exam to ensure that your mind is awake and actually retaining the information. You have some time during your morning commute, or in the minutes or hours before your exam starts. You're guaranteed to retain more if you do it in the day rather than the night.
And that's all for advice on exams. Remember, be confident in your answers, but also be careful. Make sure to read through your answers if you have any time left.
That's it from us. Thank you for watching.